Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Midweek Fucking War! We are more excited to talk about Impact than we probably ever have been before because, spoiler alert, we just talked to goddamn Vampiro about Lucha Underground. If you're not listening to our Lucha Underground podcast, go back and fucking listen to it. I'm Mad Mike. You know who I am. You don't give a fuck. We have Matt Carlins here, a friend of the mainstream media. How are you, Matt?
Hi, Mike.
I am amped up right now. Vampiro has taught me that you can say fuck every third word on a podcast. That's what I learned in wrestling this week. Also, I learned Vampiro does not know who Matt Hardy is at all.
No clue.
All right. And with us is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling, Eamon Paton. How are you, sir?
I'm so happy. I've never been so happy to talk about such a terrible show.
All right, and with us to talk everything that is Destination X, Lucha Underground co-executive producer, Chris DeJoseph, El Hijo del Cueto himself. How are you, sir?
Delete! 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 Delete!
Wait, I gotta say this. Chris DeJoseph, I knew you'd come.
Yes! Oh, God. All right, so yeah, Destination X was a thing that occurred. So, gentlemen, we'll start with you, Chris. What is your one word for Destination X?
Gosh, I have two. It's
okay. We will allow it. We will allow it.
If you guys don't use my second one, then I'll go back and tell the second one.
Okay.
So my word for Destination X is Skarsgård.
Yes.
That is my word for Destination X.
Oh, that's perfect. All right.
The mighty ship, Skarsgård.
The dilapidated boat. Eamon, what's your word for Destination X?
My word for Destination X, and it's very specific in cadence. Delete. It has to be done in that. It has to be done in that voice. Question mark?
Delete in quotes. Matt, how about you? What's your word for Destination X?
Since you gave Chris 2 words, can I have 2 words?
No.
Alright, can I just misspell it then?
No, you can have 2 words, Matt.
Green beans!
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I like that.
There it is.
I have that written right here.
All right. My word for Destination X is more of a sound effect.
We'll just spell that out.
I had just when you're doing the translation, Eamon, just put ba. All right. So let's get into this fucking show. Chris, what was your good from Destination X?
Oh my God, there are so many goods. There are so many goods. Okay.
Do you have notes?
Yes, I do. I have them right here because you can see I'm kind of looking at them. I mean, I have pages of them here. So.
I'm just gonna sit back and relax and enjoy this.
Oh, this is gonna be magic.
Yeah. They're pretty awesome. I mean, let me just say, first of all, my big one, my big. What do we call it? Good or bueno?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Oh okay. Yeah, we're not Spanish here.
The secret door with the Hardy Boys book. Oh my, dude, that's just.
Yes.
Dude, that owns.
If that's really in Matt Hardy's house.
Yeah, and a fireball.
I will take back everything negative I've ever said about Matt Hardy, and believe me, I have said a lot of negative about Matt Hardy.
Because here's the thing.
In his house, that's amazing.
My mind was blown.
I want to at least believe that it's real because I think the biggest selling point for this whole thing was one of the selling points was for people was that they didn't really have a production value, but if they're able to manufacture a fireman's pole that goes down into a theater.
Oh, that's the Hardy Cinema 9, by the way.
Or make a bust of Matt Hardy's face. That takes some money.
Now, the only way it would have been better is if that bust of Matt Hardy's face actually lifted up to reveal a button, and you saw the pole that said Maxwell. So it was very clearly 1960s Batman.
Did that pole come down from Maxwell's bedroom?
I think it was the bedroom. Yeah.
I mean that's very dangerous for a 1-year-old.
Well, I mean, he can't reach the shelf of the Hardy Boys books
on
anyway.
live TV. All right.
I was so worried that they were gonna pull because Reby comes down with him on her back in that little Bjorn thing. That was just danger waiting to happen.
To quote Bobby Heenan, the papoose to go.
God.
I couldn't help it. Yeah, but fuck, that was just amazing. Eamon, what was your good this week?
My good for this week. I'll say this first off. The wrestling this week on Impact was fine. And that's a compliment to say for Impact usually because I don't think highly of their wrestling. I'll give it to the X Division match. I thought, and Mike mentioned on Twitter as well because of course we're big DJ Z fans. It was nice for him to get the win. And I thought it was what people can expect from the X Division. It was very high spotty, but still, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, it was a ladder match too, so you know.
Yeah, I really, and the fact that DJ Z got another highlight afterwards too by pinning Bennett.
Yeah.
I really thought with all the shit that happened on this show, I thought DJ Z kind of stole Destination X a little bit.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. All right, Matt, how about you? What was your good this week?
Well, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to give my good to Matt Hardy in the live promo in the arena.
Oh,
because I know we've all had our questions about whether or not he can make it, work. For me, it worked in the arena, and it was different because he went from just playing some maniacal villain into just basically seeming to do it solely for the purpose of mocking Jeff by just playing this outrageous thing all the way. But, I mean, the crowd was into it. I mean, he held it together. I dig it. I get excited when I see Matt Hardy on my TV now.
I'll say this. Whatever on Impact, whatever I think on Impact, they give that crowd some good drugs. They are always hot, and I don't know why.
You have to remember, it is Florida.
It is Florida.
Free AC.
That gimmick is so sweet. It's so sweet. I love it, man.
All right. My good this week. I'm gonna give it to Eddie Edwards and Lashley. I really am. Last week I said I was not excited for the match. The promo during Destination X made me less excited for the match. However, I have to say, damn, that match was fun. I really, really liked it. It was a different match than I've seen from Lashley, which is what I've been wanting to see for the longest time. And I feel like it really, really helped cement him as a champion for me. Now, I'm not talking about the finish. We'll get to that. But the actual match I thought was really, really great. And the fact that they didn't turn Davey Edwards, which...
Davey Richards? Punchy?
Davey Richards, excuse
Kicky?
me. Punchy.
Okay.
Yeah. The fact that
Davey's
they didn't
kicky.
Oh, no, Davey's kicky, Eddie's choppy. That's right.
Yeah.
But the fact that they didn't turn Davey Richards immediately was a breath of fresh air because the Impact I know and loathe would have done it immediately.
Yeah, that's what I really thought.
Clearly, they had other things on their mind.
When Davey came out to help him, I was like, well, you're turning.
Yeah, as soon as he said it, I'm like, oh, okay, so Davey's turning on him today. Got it. Count it and the foul. Okay.
The point where he was taping his wrists for him, I was kind of like, we really doing this? But, yeah, you're right. Restraint. A victory for restraint.
Yes. And to be fair, sometimes with Impact, that's all we ask.
Yeah.
Unless it involves Matt Hardy, the gloves come off.
We don't want any, yeah.
All right, but not every show is perfect. We know this, except for sometimes Lucha. Chris, what would be your bad for Destination X?
Oh boy. All right. Hopefully, I don't get yelled at too much about this, but I have to pick one. I think Mike Bennett saying that he's going to burn TNA to the ground, and then Moose's entrance at the end, the big finale. To me, it just fell flat for me a little bit, and I don't know. I just I guess I was expecting them to do something more or him to do something more crazy, like, I guess, if he's going to burn TNA to the ground, or maybe this is just the beginning stages of that with Moose. But yeah, to me, it didn't. I don't know. It was a weird introduction, and sometimes I often feel like watching TNA that sometimes they introduce a lot of guys with run-ins, like McIntyre.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, I still thought it was a good show. I thought it was a good show. But I thought that maybe that could have been executed a little bit better.
And especially for me, Moose just looks so less imposing next to Lashley.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, I wouldn't have debuted him against Lashley. Like, if you're going to have Moose debut, have him come in and beat up DJ Z.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this guy's an NFL player, and he's this and that, and then you see him next to Lashley, and Lashley's just...
Lashley's, like, towering over him. He's like, what? You got to step to me?
Moose is like twice the size of half the people in Ring of Honor. He shows up on Impact, and the first thing they do is put him right next to the human action figure that they have there, you know?
He played in the NFL, so he's a big dude anyway, but Lashley is just massive, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Lashley did, like, amateur football, amateur wrestling and all that stuff, too, and Lashley is a behemoth. Like, Lashley and Abyss are two of the biggest guys in TNA, so if I were them, I would have kept Moose as far away from them as possible, but here we are.
Yeah, and I wonder, because if going to like what Chris said about like the whole like burn TNA to the ground thing, like immediately when I saw that, I'm like, are they gonna do like a we're invading from Ring of Honor sort of thing? And like, I don't know, it'd be very weird to me personally. But yeah.
Yeah, I thought like Bennett was gonna maybe beat DJ Z and say, hey, I'm the #1 contender for the X Division title, so you have to put me in the match. Or something like that, because you could have very easily done that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird way to debut him. Matt, how about you? What was your bad this week?
Well, I got to talk about the announcing again. I know I talked about it last week. It's such an easy target, but just it baffles me just how devoid of any kind of emotional investment poor Josh always seems to be. And I really want him to do well because, you know, if he does well, that might make the Impact viewing experience even more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just don't understand. Like, I'm sitting there at home watching something happen in the ring, and I'm like, I know what the announcer's supposed to do here. You're supposed to, like, get, you know, be outraged and be like, I can't believe this. You know, I'm like, all I'm doing when I'm watching Impact is hearing, like, Jim Ross in my head. And like imagining how Jim Ross would handle all these situations. And that does not happen when I watch any other wrestling show. It's like my brain is begging me for someone else to be calling the action. And I feel bad because like we harp on this thing like every single time I'm on. But it's just this thing that's just like hanging over the whole show sometimes. You can't have a high quality televised wrestling product without a really good announce team, and it's not there. You know, they're not really good. You know,
yeah,
I know. I agree on that.
I noted it in my notes. One of the things that made me upset was during the X Division match that Braxton Sutter and Braxton Spud tried to do a callback to last week with the whole Braxton trying to kick him in the teeth, like an intelligent like callback to like prolong their feud, and the commentary didn't even notice it or pick up on it.
And just like something like exactly. That's a great point because like so much of it is the storytelling too. It's not just how they're calling the action, but it's what they're saying too. It seems like they're just they're trying to just fill time
they're
by
talking
just
about
kind of wandering around, but all they're doing is just talking about the moves that are happening in the match. You know, we've got this, for better or worse, we've got this convoluted story with Bram and the Decay and all this other crap going on. Can you bring me up to speed? You know, while we're doing this match, can you just drop me a few bullet points on exactly what's going on? And there's none of that, you know? And the show really needs that. You're trying to... 80,000 new viewers, you know? You got to get these people up to speed fast and tell them what's going on so they'll care about why these matches are happening.
Yeah.
All right. Eamon, how about you? What was your bad this week?
My bad for this week, and this sometimes happens on this show, my bad for this week is actually Matt's good for this week.
Yes!
Being the in-ring segment of the Found Deletion stuff. To me, this is the thing that, like again, I have my issues with the Found Deletion that I mentioned before on the show. so I won't go back into them. But yeah, like the way this story goes just really upsets me. Because I noted some stuff. What's the point of the deletion if Jeff's just gonna show up next week?
Well, see, here's my thing. Like, and I'm not sure if you guys caught this when you were watching it. It was right after the Jeff Hardy coming out and being deleted and all that stuff, which making Jeff a slave again on Impact, like it's the second time this year this has happened. Yeah. Which, okay, fine, Matt gets to do that because he's brother. Okay, I'm okay with that. But then they announced the Bound for Glory series, and the first thing you see is Jeff Hardy doing all of his Jeff Hardy things, and they call him Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, they don't call him Brother Nero.
They don't call him, like, it'd be really
wasn't
funny.
The point of this is that Jeff would lose the Hardy name?
Yeah.
They should have bleeped it out.
They should have bleeped it. See, Matt, right there, a 2-second fix.
Yeah.
Or not even bleep it out, just like when they show him, just hear Matt Hardy scream, "Delete!"
Redacted! Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just got the sense from last week's big final deletion was that the point of it was to murder Jeff Hardy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I assumed too. Or
like, that's what he said to the referee after it's over, do not resuscitate him. And like,
he was fine.
Yeah, he was fine, he just came back out.
Although Matt did say that by keeping Brother Nero around, he would not allow Brother Nero to go up to New York to Mr. Mahan.
Mr. Mahan. or that new wrestling from Japan.
Which, I mean, that was kind of great.
That was awesome.
But yeah, like I just don't get this. Like the story's convoluted to me. So Matt just gets to decide that his contract is terminated.
I think the story's convoluted to them too. So.
Well, I think that's part of the stakes of the.
And then he says he thinks that he said that he's going to keep Jeff as his servant because he thinks Jeff's intellectual property is of value. But you didn't think that. That's the reason you wanted this in the first place.
Also, and while we're on the topic of the Hardys, what was the fever dream Jeff had at the beginning of the show?
Oh yeah, where he's like taping his face?
To an Illuminati of all things. Like, I thought, what was that?
Yeah.
It seems like someone just saw Batman vs. Superman and thought, hey, that scene with the Flash interrupting Bruce's dream was a great idea.
But like that's the thing, like we get, everyone gets this buzz for the final deletion and stuff like that, and the implications of it. First minute in, we find out Jeff Hardy's alive.
Yep.
Like,
or that he may have dreamed the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I.
Because that's what I thought for a split second there. I'm like, if Jeff Hardy fever dreamed the final deletion, that could be the greatest thing Impact's ever done.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. I said, "Oh my God, it was all a dream last week." And then Vanguard 1 showed back up. I think at some point. I love Vanguard.
Right. but to me, I don't know.
No hologram this time though. No Zod Zordon hologram though.
So
to me, Matt Hardy runs roughshod. Do a month of those fucking promos where like he's asking for green beans and stuff like that.
Because he dislikes mustard.
Because he dislikes mustard. But have Jeff not show up for like months until like Bound for Glory or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it just felt like this big thing happened, and then we were like.
I thought he got lit on fire, but then I guess he didn't.
He just I guess fell in dirt. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like he just like took a tumble. I'm like, he's taking worse hits than that in matches when he's delivering offense.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just had a lot of problem with that.
Yeah. My bad this week is not capitalizing on their opportunity. To me, Impact this week, because Destination X was live, right? Or live to tape?
Live to tape.
Yeah. They knew they were getting a lot of viewers. And to end it with only two title matches, both of which had run-in bullshit finishes. I mean, your world title match didn't even have a finish. To have some convoluted storylines with Decay and all that and not really explain it, I think they missed an opportunity. I think this was probably their biggest opportunity since they first moved to Destination America. And like we always say on the show we want Impact to be better. But I feel like if they knew they were getting a bunch of new viewers this week, and if I was a new viewer to Impact and I saw, oh, well, they're having a world title match, that's awesome. There's no finish. Like, we don't know who either, no title change chance or anything like that. And now they're going to make me tune in to see the same match next week in a cage. Like, I thought this was the big pay-per-view thing. Like,
yeah.
It just seemed anticlimactic. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Like, there should have been a finality to it. And there was just so many, like, little nitpicky things that casual viewers are going to notice. They're going to know if they want to stick around to watch this or not. And I think I'd be really curious to see the ratings for this week and for next week, because I feel like they're going to drop off huge.
No knock on Moose, but like, because I like Moose, but like him coming out is not like the big like thing that's like going to be like, oh, viewers are going to be happy that they watched Impact, because Moose is like, if you watch Ring of Honor, you know who Moose is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they call him the biggest free agent in pro wrestling. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think he's a big free agent.
Yeah.
But, like, and the fact that his entrance is so, like, like, no intensity at all.
I thought it was fine. Like, I thought it was very cool that they kept this song from Ring of Honor.
Well, I think that's just a joke.
I think because he owns
it. I
think
it just sounded the same as long as you hear the word Moose.
No, I think it was the exact same one.
Okay.
But I think that may be because it's not like a Ring of Honor song. It's like something he made or something. But, like, yeah, I just don't think that he was the right choice. Like, if they were going to do a fuck finish with the main event, like, I don't know if it was a good enough thing to leave on for people to still be satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't like if they had gotten Jay Lethal, sure, that would work. But he's not leaving Ring of Honor anytime soon. Like, I don't know. It's just, for that build-up, you expect someone that everyone knows. And Moose is not that guy.
Yeah.
Well, there's only so many guys out there, too. I think, given what they were able to do, I thought they turned it around pretty fast, bringing out Moose.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other ways of introducing him, like have him be a surprise instead of having to build up.
Believe me, hindsight being 2020, debuting Moose by putting him in the same ring as Bobby Lashley would not have been my first choice. It's probably like 20th or 21st choice, but I wouldn't call it.
Have Moose take out Eddie Edwards.
I wouldn't call it a totally squandered opportunity. I know I even predicted that there would be a non-finish with this match this week, but they did make an immediate rematch with a cage, which makes you think there might be an actual winner with the same stipulations. They did give a big push to DJ Z. They did debut Moose. It's what they had. So they did try to push forward. I'm not ready to give up on them just yet. I can't call them fully squandered opportunity. I'm not ready to go that far.
I just think there's better ways they could have done what they wanted to do. Like EC3 and Galloway had a completely pointless fight. Have Moose break that up and destroy both of those guys at once.
Yeah.
Like, that's a way to do it, because Moose would look huge next to both of those guys.
I don't know. Galloway might be taller than Moose.
Okay, yeah. but Moose is wider. Moose is wider. It's fine.
Let's get out the measuring tape.
Hey, you know what? The measuring tape, you can't teach that. So it's.
That's right.
All right. So, Chris, what would you change about Destination X this week?
Well, I wouldn't change Mackenzie Mitchell. I would not change Mackenzie Mitchell.
Oh, I don't like Mackenzie Mitchell.
I didn't know who she was. I thought she was great.
She's been doing stuff recently, like just on the Facebook Live stuff. I think she's kind of wooden. Like she's good. She's fine to look at, but like she's
Well,
I think she's just nervous.
One thing she's not as beautiful as Matt Hardy's teeth. They're amazing. What would I change? I would probably change that. I would probably change Moose, the impact that Moose made, or how he was introduced a little bit. I probably would have done something a little bit differently. But I'm coming back next week to watch TNA, and I've only watched the past 2 weeks, but I'm coming back next week to watch TNA for sure. I'm gonna see what happens.
They're doing something right.
All right.
I want to see Vanguard 1 again. Jeff versus Vanguard 1-2, maybe, in a dream sequence.
I will say, as much as I've been critical of the final deletion, there was one moment this week that made me bust out laughing, and it's in the movie theater scene where they're watching the final deletion, and they get that shot of that baby looking at Matt Hardy so confusedly.
I love it. That was funny. Who's the guy who like is like Matt's butler? Not the guy who put all the weapons up.
Not Senior
like
Benjamin.
his secretary. His
I love that guy.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but actually, I found out Senior Benjamin is actually Rebby's real father.
Oh, really?
No.
Yes,
So good.
that's a real thing. I heard that on a different podcast, but yeah,
Senior Benjamin, he's the
is
man.
Rebby's real father.
He's
So
the man. But if I could probably...
that butler has to be like a Hardy cousin or someone, or maybe he knows like Shannon Moore.
Yeah, right. The only thing I think maybe I would have done differently, but then I probably would do something different on my own show, so it's hard to say. But you've got all the attention on Matt and Jeff and their story and the final deletion, and I think that's what everybody was kind of talking about last week. I thought that they would end the show with something with those two guys, but they didn't. So that would maybe be the thing that I would change. I don't know.
Okay, kind of like a post-credit tag, something like that.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to do that because it's kind of.
Yeah. Well, no, but because I feel like Destination actually kind of had to end with the title match, even if it was going to be a shitty finish.
Yeah, that is true. I guess I don't know. I was hoping that something else would happen with that story, maybe. Yeah. But the cage match will be interesting. It's weird that Destination X didn't get it, but hey, they got to do what they got to do to get people to Thursday night, so I can understand where they're coming from. That's
true. Yeah, we should announce that they are going to Thursday night. So if you don't watch Impact, this doesn't really affect you. It's gonna push back our start time a little bit, but we'll see what happens. So Eamon, what would you change about Destination X this week?
Oh God, probably I already mentioned like the Hardy stuff, like that I would change, that I wouldn't have Jeff show up again, for like months. I noted this. How many weeks? Like I think each week we've had some point where Drew Galloway and someone is being separated backstage by the same group of wrestlers. Like it's always.
He loves to fight, Damon.
It's always.
He loves to fight.
It's always Robbie E, Mahabali Shera, like Mandrews. Like it's always those guys separating Drew Galloway and someone. Like it's like you couldn't find extras to do that at least.
Eamon, have you seen their roster? They don't have extras.
Oh, short. Yeah.
But yeah, Drew Galloway's like always getting into fights with people. Like
he's Scottish.
Yeah, that happens, I guess.
Scottish people do.
He's a Leonidas of TNA, daddy.
Oh God.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help myself. Matt, what would you change about Destination X this week?
I'm trying to come up with something fresh, but I would not have had Jeff Hardy on this show. That's it, bottom line.
Yeah.
I know it's obvious, but come on, people. Now, Willow I would have had on this show.
That's fair. Yeah, I could see that. Or like a completely different character that's actually just called Brother Nero.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Was Willow in Final Deletion, was that Senior Benjamin, or was that actually Willow? What happened there?
It was both.
Well, because Senior Benjamin tases Willow when he's trying to choke out Matt. Like,
yeah. I think there was a point where
he jumped out of the water, right? Was that Senior Benjamin in Willow costume?
No, that was Jeff.
Oh,
that was Jeff.
That had to have been, yeah. But I just don't understand like the time frame in which he was able, Willow or Jeff Hardy was able to, attack Senior Benjamin to the point of unconsciousness, take off his clothes, put them on Senior Benjamin, and then have Matt Hardy pin him.
Well, I would imagine it probably wouldn't take much for Senior Benjamin to be knocked out.
Yeah, but there's a lot. There's like buttons and stuff on that. He's got like a jacket. He's got the mask. Like it's gonna take a little while.
Hey, you know what? Willow's very magical. He did just randomly appear out of the water like fucking Jason at the end of Friday the 13th. So.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's like a water fairy or something like that. and what is now since Jeff is deleted, is Willow not deleted?
Well, also we had that segment like months ago where there was like 8 Willows.
I wasn't watching months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
You're
asking me to go way back.
There was like 8 Willows at one point, and like one of them was like flesh colored. Like it was
cool.
weird. It was very
Yeah,
weird.
there was definitely a fleshlight Willow.
Awesome.
It was.
That's cool.
Oh, God.
Did not Matt speak specifically to Jeff Hardy trying to use different characters, or did he only talk about him
Yeah.
going to different companies and things like that?
No, he
Or did he address
specifically
that?
said that. He specifically said that.
He's very thorough in his deletion.
Yeah, I'm just wishing his
He's thought
company
of
was
everything.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he was very thorough. TNA wasn't, because they promoted Jeff Hardy right after that segment. But,
Yeah, I wouldn't put Jeff in a title opportunity and then advertise him as Jeff Hardy because it kind of defeats the point of the whole thing.
Mhm. All right, my change for this week. You can't have 2 matches on a show that have your entire division in those matches.
Yeah.
Like, it speaks to how thin the roster is.
You should never say the entire roster ever during your wrestling show. You should say like the top contenders, you know.
Yeah,
unless
it's like
imagine another guy, you know, at least one more guy.
Yeah, unless it's like one of those segments where the entire roster is surrounding the ring for like an addressment by the boss or whatever. But it sounds bad. It just sounds really, really bad.
When you say entire roster and there's 6 guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
You think
4.
It's not good.
Do you think
Yeah.
Matt Hardy deleted the rest of the X Division guy?
Let's see.
I was hoping that Gregory Helms would get in that match, but he didn't.
I'm shocked that he hasn't wrestled yet.
Man,
I'm shocked. Like, I thought that's what we were building to with him and Eddie Edwards. I'm just absolutely floored he hasn't wrestled yet.
Yeah.
One other thing I would change is when the X Division guys came to confront Bennett, there's no reason for Gregory Shane Helms and the other guys to be out there.
I thought the same thing. I forgot.
Because I know you weren't watching 2 weeks ago, Chris, but 2 weeks ago, Mike Bennett was high-fiving those guys when he was trying to win the X Division title. They were all working together at the same time.
News to me.
Yeah. It just like managers, Spud even. I'll accept Spud too. But managers Spud and Braxton totally fine with. They can hold off Bennett. That's absolutely fine.
Also, like, what's happened to Tigre now?
I thought they re-signed him.
They said they re-signed him, and he hasn't been
Maybe
on, like,
he's
months.
actually Senior Benjamin. My information was false.
Oh, well.
Maybe he's going to another company. Chris?
I don't know anything.
Chris doesn't know who Tigre Uno is. All right. So, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about Destination X before we go into our rankings?
Oh, God, what else happened?
What'd you guys think of the Decay segment?
Eh.
A little strange.
The whole concept of Bram as someone I should be cheering for is kind of making me feel weird.
Especially regarding a relationship with a woman.
That's
Wow.
kind of a good point.
The optics are a bit much. Especially when it seems like that woman enjoys violence. Just steer away from this.
Jesus Christ.
They have-
Hard reboot on it.
You know, they have a loud ass ring. I know that. That's one thing I noticed too.
Yeah, that's true.
Holy shit. I thought Jeremy Borash, man. He's got some Gene Okerlund in him. I like Jeremy. I thought he was
JP.
Yeah, JB's always been really good. Always been a stalwart of Impact. Like, honestly, I don't know why he's not doing color commentary, because if anyone is Mr. TNA right now,
him,
it's
right?
Jeremy fucking Borash.
Yeah.
I'm shocked he didn't take over for like today or whatever. Like back when they were trying to find someone to replace him. Like, I don't know. He's very crucial to the TNA product, I feel. And also on like certain taped impacts, like I make fun of it, but like he's able to do backstage interviews and then ring announce immediately thereafter. He's like a magician.
Well, I mean, teleportation in wrestling, that doesn't happen at all.
Never.
At all, no.
But yeah, no, I fully agree. I like JB.
All right, so I think we'll hit up the rankings. Chris, where did you rank Impact this week, Destination X?
Oh, you don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. For one reason and one reason only, and that is because of Matt Hardy, I rank Impact number 2.
Yes! Unbelievable. So good.
Awesome. You know what? For the Matt Hardy reason, I can't fault you because, fuck. If he really does have... And I didn't even notice that it was a Hardy Boys book that they pulled to open the door.
I'm going to start construction at my house immediately of one of those things, if it's possible. It might cost millions of dollars to do something like that, so maybe not. But I'm sure I can go to the library, get some Hardy's Boys books. Oh, man, that was so cool. I mean, Matt's been a friend of mine for a long time, and I always thought he was cool, but that upped the cool factor big time for me. I had no idea about that. Why did you keep that from me, Matt?
And Matt Hardy will be on next week to answer that. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm waiting for Jerry Lynn to come in on this one. Jerry.
All right, Eamon, where would you rank Destination X this week?
I will give slight credit. This wasn't a offensive episode of Impact to me. This was definitely better than past weeks. I'll give them that. It's still number 3 for me, just from obviously Lucha's amazing, and also NXT. They had one match, but it was a really great match. Good on them for trying. Good on them. It's just
I might change my mind. Because, I mean, just Finn's and Nakamura's entrances alone were probably better than Impact. So, I changed my mind.
But you'd almost convinced me. All right.
I'm just kidding. Impact number 2.
That's right.
Staying with it.
All
Those
right.
entrances are fucking awesome.
They really were. All right, Matt, where did you rank it in Destination X this week?
It's really close. I got issues with NXT, and you can watch the NXT edition of the Midweek War, and I'll get into it. But I'll toe the company line here, and I'll put Impact number 3. But I'm telling you, it's close, and I freaking love Matt Hardy.
Matt, there's no company line here. If you feel it's number 2, you rank it number 2.
I really don't feel it's number 2, but I feel like it's very close. But I can't in good conscience give it number 2. But it's over.
Now, I will say if Moose came out with Stokely Hathaway as well, I would have bumped it up to number 2.
That's a fair point. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna give it number 2.5. 2.5, which is a really good rating for me because sometimes I rank it number 4 when I've only watched 3 shows.
I was gonna say we're not taking the Cruiserweight Classic into account.
No.
So this would be different.
Oh yeah. If we're going the Cruiserweight Classic, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I'm gonna say 2.5. I really enjoyed the wrestling this week. Lashley and Eddie Edwards sold me, and that took some doing because I wasn't excited for that match. I didn't really like the finish, but it is what it is. I think if they actually pulled the trigger and had a clear winner, it might have taken number 2 from me. It very well might have. Like if they had actually pulled the trigger and done something different, whether or not it was like a screwdriver or something like that, if they had someone leaving Destination X with 2 belts, I might have given it number 2.
Can I ask one question before we wrap this up?
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Sure. But if Cruiserweight Classic was in the ranking system, where would you rank it? Because I know where I'd rank Cruiserweight Classic.
Where would you rank the Cruiserweight? I need to think on it a little bit.
Oh, really?
Whoa!
Yes.
Huh.
I did not enjoy it at all. At least the first round, I did not. At least this first episode, I didn't. I thought the last match was awesome. The last match was awesome. But the other stuff to me, I don't know. It was weird to me. I guess the different ring introductions and all that, I could kind of see it. I don't know. I didn't like it as much as the other two, though. That's for sure.
Again, it's not Matt Hardy naming it dilapidated boats.
Yeah, Matt Hardy just destroys Cruiserweight Classics. He
Maxwell Hardy's going to be the youngest entrant in the Cruiserweight Classics.
So I want him in. I want Maxwell in Aztec Warfare, dude.
Can we have King Maxwell and Masquerita Sagrada?
That'd be amazing. King Maxwell over strong.
By the way, speaking of King Maxwell, this was the second show with the Lion King reference this week.
What was
Matt Hardy lifted King Maxwell up like goddamn Simba. He did it. He really did it. And Maxwell looked just as awkward as cartoon Simba looked in the Lion King. Chris, can you please book King Maxwell to be the descendant of King Cuerno? Oh, yes!
Just go to Matt and be like, hey, we don't want to book you. We're going to book your kid now.
Oh, God.
That would be amazing. I love everything about that whole gimmick, man. Everything with the wife, with the baby and the baby pouch. The whole thing is so trashy and so horrible. I love it. It is a train wreck, and I love every bit of it.
So can we expect someone in Lucha Underground to have a lawn as intricate as Jeff Hardy's next year?
No, but that is a nice lawn. He should go to like a baseball field, like the Yankee Stadium, and do their grass right there. You know what I mean? Like, that is really...
excuse me, as a card-carrying New Yorker, I strongly do not endorse that message.
A giant Hardy symbol carved in the center field.
You know what? Take that shit to Wrigley. Wrigley or Fenway. Wrigley or Fenway, they'll do that.
He can probably draw all the Yankees legends in the outfield. Like, that's how good he is at mowing the lawn. It's amazing. I'm a good cross cutter, you know? Like, I can do the cross cut, you know? But that's about the best of my ability. That guy, he's got some real skills. Maybe the NFL should hire him or something like that as a groundskeeper after he's done wrestling, because tremendous.
It's too bad the XFL still isn't a thing. Jeff Hardy would just do the end zones up nice.
Yeah, right? Totally. See him before the game spraying the sideline or something like that? Awesome.
Oh, God. All right. So, Eamon, where can the good people of the internet find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Eamon2, please, and you can also check out Inspire Pro Wrestling, the company I'm involved with, on Twitter at InspireProRes and at InspireProWrestling.com.
And Eamon, when's the next show for Inspire Pro Wrestling?
August 14th in Austin, Texas. We're debuting in a brand new venue, so that'll be really fun. We got some big stuff planned. So
what's the new venue?
The lovely Red Oak Ballroom in downtown Austin, Texas. There's a lot of great stuff around that area, so it'll be fun. It'll be really fun, and we'll make sure we have air conditioning this time, because I know that was a big problem with our last show.
Ballroom.
All right, Matt Carlins, where can the good people find you on the internet?
Mainstream Matt with 1 T, and check out all your favorite indie stars. See what they're up to. Go to indiewrestling.us, around the indies column. We'll even probably mention Inspire Pro Wrestling around August 14th, thereabouts.
Alrighty, and Chris DeJoseph, where can people find you if they want to know more about your thoughts on Matt Hardy's dilapidated boat?
They can find me on Twitter at Chris DeJoseph. They can also find me supporting all wrestling. So watch all wrestling, as much wrestling as you want, as much wrestling as you can, especially at the Red Oak Ballroom on August 14th for Inspire Pro Wrestling. It's a new venue. They've got wrestling. They've got air conditioning. What more could you ask for? Be there.
Alrighty, and you can find me, of course, at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine. Also, hit up the Mayhem Show Twitter. Hit the hashtag MM when I live tweet Impact. I don't know if I'll be able to next week because I will be in San Diego, hopefully meeting a few guys from maybe Lucha Underground. But yeah, I will still live tweet Impact whenever I watch it. So for Eamon Paton, for Matt Carlins, and for our special guest, Chris DeJoseph.
Delete!
Delete this podcast.
Your mid-week delete!